Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game between Zoke and Hyun here on Cloud Kingdom. We have Zoke spawning as the red Protoss on the top right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Hyun spawning as the blue Zerg on the bottom left-hand side of the map. I know that this says Game 3 in Best of 3 series between Lucifron and Hyun. This is an anti-spoiler game, and just like me, my anti-spoiler games are still real games. So, Hyun versus Zoke here on Cloud Kingdom. I believe, I know that Zoke stands for sock, but I'm just trying to pronounce the name correctly, and I believe the word sock is just like Zoke, without the T on the end for like socket, like socket. But you know what, I'm probably butchering the language anyways, as there are more important things to look at in this Protoss versus Zerg matchup. Now, PvZ, one of those matchups where the openings really haven't changed that much for Zerg. Zerg still pretty much goes for 2 bases, maybe even 3. Meanwhile, Protoss players have really been going for forge fast expansions as of late. But now that there is the Mothership Core, Protoss players are starting to find that they can actually go for a Mothership Core, a fast Mothership Core, and use that as defense early on against any early aggression. Now, that range of, I believe, 13, or is it 13 or 15? I keep on forgetting between the two. That range is very, very far, very effective at just dealing absolute terrible damage. And it also can shut down a lot of Zerg play. Let's see what's going to be happening here. And are we actually going into a 1-gate expand by the Protoss? It looks like that is going to be the case. This is a 1-gate expand without gas. This is rather odd, as you can see that that no Zealot is being trained at all, and there is currently no Cybernetics core down. A Simulator is going to be up a little bit late, and this looks like it's cutting a bit of corners in order to try and get a stronger economic opening. Now, Hyun is known for his really macro style of play, so perhaps the Protoss player is playing the player and not playing against the race. One of those things that high-level players do. They play against the player, not just play against the race. You can do that more when you are playing in a series, and you can start in figuring out what that player is going to try and open up with. Zergling now chasing that probe. Oh, that probe does take a bit of damage. There is another Zergling here. This probe will just start to regenerate shields, and then take 5 points of damage to go down to 2. Oh, down to 4. So a little bit of a run there. So that probe should have absolutely no problem. Meanwhile, Warp Gate Tech now coming in. Do we have enough gas yet? No, we do not have enough gas, because we are now going into a Zealot. And those Zealots are not going to be able to do much against those Zerglings. Those Zerglings are simply too fast, as we are now looking to get another probe into the base here. Are we going to be getting that Mothership Core next? I do hope and believe so, as you really need that Mothership Core in order to defend. But then again, the Protoss player Zoke did see and scout out that a third hatchery wanted to be established, and as long as Hyun doesn't cancel this and then change it into a 2-base roach push, he should be fine. Mothership Core finally on the field right now. There you go. Photon Overcharge, Mass Recall, Time Warp, just very strong abilities, as that Mothership Core can move around pretty quickly. Mothership Core has the same movement speed as an Overlord, and also provides sight without having to go into a robotics facility or a Stargate. So that early high ground sight does make a tremendous difference, as you see the Overlord now just getting shot down here. And I don't believe there's any other race has no, actually no, Terran doesn't even have the ability to look up on the high ground unless he uses uses scanner sweep instead of getting mules. Zerglings engaging against Zealots. It looks as though the Zealot will get taken down. There it goes. And right now Hyun is in a bit of a lead, as Zoke still trying to figure out what to do here. He is going to be sitting on 2 bases. And is he going to be going for those Colossi and level 1 weapons upgrade? This is not your typical Forge Fast expansion. In fact, there are no There is no photon cannons on this front door at all. So if the roaches just come a-knocking, this is going to be very, very susceptible or vulnerable to attack. Wow, I can hear the fans in my computer running. All right. Anyways, Overlord now getting shot down here. And it looks like it will get taken down. And let's see what the follow-up play is going to be. Mothership Core cleaning out some Zerglings here, as we do see some Zerglings now trying to make their way inside. Zoke currently sitting down by about 20 supply. It is going to be 56 Harvesters versus 41 with 3 more drones on the way. And Zoke really needs to find a way to do some harassment. That is the main problem right now. All Zoke is doing is warping in a whole bunch of sentries, and those sentries are going to be very, very important at dealing damage and preventing damage by those force fields and pushing those Zerglings away. Now, once there is enough gateway units and enough gateways, I believe Zoke will be moving out here. This is more of a 2-base push, as we now still see more and more sentries being added to part of this army. So far, gas is rather tight. Down to 200 gas, only can warp in 2 more sentries. Again, needs to get in some more pylons, getting in a robotics facility and additional gateways. And we are going to be running on 6 gateways plus a robotics facility. All right, Overseer trying to do a quick flyby. Nope, the pattern is full. Gets taken down really quickly. And now we are going to see the Stalkers, sentries, now on the move. No Zealots as of yet, as the Mothership Core is going to keep track of all of the units. Zerglings now trying to do a quick run through here. Not going to work. Able to hold the Zelnaga Tower. Where are all of these Zerglings and Roaches going to be traveling to next? Here we have it. The Stalkers do not have level 1, or the Blink upgrade. They do have level 1 weapons upgrade, but that is about it. We are going into level 1 missile attacks and more Roaches. Muscular augments also coming online, as the Stalkers, sentries, and that is it, is just simply walking across the map here. Here you go, Zerglings now trying to engage. There's some force fields, and Zoke is going to absolutely dominate this attack as long as he can be sparing with his force fields. The longer he has those force fields, the better it will be for him, as we are now going to see another engagement there. There's some Guardian shields. Roaches are not able to engage. Hydralisks unable to engage in the back as well, as we see the damage is still being dealt. All right, there is that time warp. Roaches are not going to be able to retreat all too easily, and another unit gets taken down. So far, Mothership Core now making its way off to the north. Are we going to see more units? Oh, another force field. Just one. Nope. Just a little bit out of position, as the Roaches and Hydralisks are still battling it out. There's the recall. What? All right, the recall looked like it took place, and then the Mothership Core died. And with the Mothership Core dying, all the units just ended up warping back into position. So Zoke goes from a very, very good aggressive attack to now in a bit of a trouble, as he may end up losing all of these Stalkers. The Stalkers and the sentries have a long way to run, and the observers are just keeping track, making sure that there isn't any burrow going to be used. All right, Roaches still pushing in. Hydralisks being pushed in as well. Are the Roaches going to go after units? Could easily take down all of these sentries and Stalkers here in just a moment. And you can see 1 sentry is left. Meanwhile, back over here, Roaches and Zealots still battling it out. This 1 Stalker is going to get taken down. There it goes. Is the sentry going to get taken down as well? Yes, it will. And Zoke, looking like he was in a dominant position, now down by about 70 supply. All right. Here we have it. Roaches on the move. 56 drones, 50 probes. And we are now going to be engaging here in just a second. Sentries and Zealots in position here, though, and we are now finally adding Colossi from Zoke. Zoke does have 1-1 upgrades, no shield upgrades as of yet, extended thermal lance range, and that Mothership Core to help recall and get out of sticky situations. Here we have a fight, a flank on both sides. Colossi does not have extended thermal lance range just quite yet. Going to be forced to attack the old-fashioned way, but I believe Hyun is just going to be able to A-move with this massive Roach army. The Roaches and Hydralisks trying to push their way in. Is it going to be enough? The Zealots are getting taken down if they walk a little bit too close to that force field. And here we go. Now that there is no more energy on those sentries, the counterattack is just looking way too strong. Hyun needs to take down the Colossi. There it goes. And now with the rest of the Roaches arriving to the party, Zoke says GG. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.